is Lisa Atkins. I was not sleeping. When I wake up, I hear knocking on the door. Knocking like they want to pop off the door. I jump up same time, turn to my father and say, what that? And he say, what that? And he slam at the door. So he say, I would that. So me say, me no know. So then he say, a police open the door. When me look, as I can see from outside, inside the house to outside, he said, me no see no blue light. I no police. He said, me I pull the door. Me said, do not pull the door because you're not sure who. He said, pull the door. As he pulled the door, he came in the head with the gun. Me and the baby was on the bed, that little girl. He run come on the bed beside me and I go to away. I said, me no do nothing, what me want me for. Then drive him off of the bed, drive him to the ground. Go to in my arms, say me. Put him to the ground. Then pull him out of my hand. The first shot me hear is straight in head. I say, me not do nothing. I cry. I say, me not do nothing. The man say, the kid say, me say, what the man say? A long time we want you. A long time you did. Don't have him and anyone in the problem. He's a feisty and miserable and a ranking young man. When you come to your family, yeah, we have ups and downs, but that is just it. And putting extortion at my head. I went to my leave.
Welcome back to MyView TV, the people's platform, the home of undiluted news, reviews, updates, and your daily dose of entertainment. Don't forget to hit the notification bell, leave us a comment, like, share, and subscribe.
I don't bring nobody forward in your cheer for me. Everything what you see up my natural talent. Man, me tell you something. You see, when you know what to please the audience with, it's simple, me.
I could just go to bed in a fine style. Cherish every moment and every person in your life, because you never know when it will be the last time you see someone. Life is fragile. Take nothing and no one for granted. Always remember that. Wagwan, my people. Hope everybody doing okay. Hope everybody doing all right. Give thanks to life and the gathering. Listen to me keenly now. When you're done listening to this review, go along on your bed. Because early bird catch the most worm, and tomorrow morning, me want to get a fresh start. A fresh start to the new work week. A fresh start to the first Monday of the new month. And we are got there and we are got fit. Alright? But what you going to go on now? Some people have eat Sunday dinner hospital, you understand? Because their family member down there. People. Carelessness. Look on the screen. 2 people are feared. Dead following a 2-vehicle crash along a section of the Kerry Park main road. Right down at Trelawny side. What the fuck? Might as well me just tell you so one dead and one no dead here, man. Report indicate that the crash involved a silver Toyota Axia, another motor vehicle. I don't even know what kind of vehicle that right there. So. But the person were dead, they in the Axia. The person were dead, they in the Axia. But time to tell them, take them time on the road. Them here say cold front. Whenever the pan road in a cold front, whenever front, they go look and get no front. They understand how up in each other. See there? Dead off. Speaking of dead, remember me tell you, say, them pull a little boy out of the water. Right in a panic stone, right out of real corbett, right behind God pen, right there, so. A Raheem, you know? Little Raheem, people. 14-year-old Raheem Greenfield. I'm a student at the Willardine Group of School. Yeah, and he come from around a garden pen. He come from around a garden pen, so I don't understand how him drowning in the water there. Them say he was swimming and he got into difficulty, and that was it. Little Raheem, dead. Condolence to the family and friends of Raheem. May his soul rest in peace. But in the meantime, between time, what you go on power go on, them say them amend the Cyber Crime Act. Only the ear? Only never hear, don't it? Big discussion go on. But before we reach right there, so come on to hear that, you know. But tell say the police them a go jail, you know, but little by little coming like the MP a chat foolishness. You hear me?
The 6 lawmen are Sergeant Simroy Mott, Corporal Donovan Fullerton, and Constables Andrew Smith, Sheldon Richards, Randy Rose, and Richard Lynch. They are on trial for murder in connection with the 2013 killing of Matthew Lee, Mark Allen, and Eucliffe Dyer. The prosecution's main witness, Floyd Green, detailed watching the shooting incident unfold on January 12, 2013. He said he was inside the apartment with his significant other and their infant son when he heard what sounded like a gunshot. He testified that he went to the window about a minute later and observed the scene for approximately 5 minutes. Green said his partner later joined him at the window but could not say at what point during the incident she arrived. He maintained that he remained at the window throughout his observations and only left at the end. Green also told the court that he wrote an anonymous letter to the Independent Commission of Investigations, INDECOM, the day after the shooting, detailing what he said he observed. He denied making any telephone contact with INDECOM on the day of the incident and said he could not recall speaking to any INDECOM personnel before sending the letter. Green also said he did not provide his name, address, or telephone number in the correspondence. Under cross-examination by Hugh Wildman, Green said he did not remember how the letter was delivered to INDECOM. He maintained that he saw a policeman with a handgun which was placed into a Toyota motor vehicle. He also stood by his account that a police Kingfish vehicle arrived and that a policeman shot a man who was on the ground, an observation he said was included in both his anonymous letter and his formal statement to INDECOM. Wildman suggested that Green failed to mention the involvement of a Kingfish vehicle in any earlier communication with INDECOM. But the witness rejected the suggestion, insisting that he recorded what he observed when he wrote the letter. Green told the court that at the time of the incident, he was not preparing for a court case and only struggled with whether to become involved at all, deciding to act anonymously. He said he was surprised when INDECOM later contacted him and could not recall who specifically made contact or who took his statement. He confirmed that he has only ever given one statement to INDECOM.
It's right there, so. We could deal with the cybercrime thing now. Guess what one people are bigger than to get peace and Mike. She love Mike for real, no?
The modern criminal does not need to be in the same parish or even the same hemisphere to target a Jamaican citizen. Mr. Speaker, one click can cross every border our laws were never designed to stop. Our cybercrime framework was created to meet a specific reality, and it has had to evolve over the years, Mr. Speaker, as the reality evolved. It was designed in an era when cybercrime was often understood narrowly as the unauthorized access, interference with systems, and the misuse of devices. Today, the threat picture is wider and sharper. Identity theft are at scale. Financial fraud and payment diversions are now common assault. Harassment and extortion conducted through viral platforms and reputational destruction through synthetic media that can, Mr. Speaker, fabricate a person's likeness or voice with alarming realism is now the order of the day. Importantly, Mr. Speaker, the clause defines intimate image to include content that is captured, generated, or created, Mr. Speaker. And I repeat that, to include content that is captured, generated, or created. Mr. Speaker, this is very important as we are now living in an artificial intelligence age. Because, Mr. Speaker, the law must protect Jamaicans not only from what a camera records, but also from what modern tools can fabricate. We have to ensure that those who seek to hide behind a computer or a similar device cannot cause harm, malicious or otherwise, to the reputations of Jamaicans. It defines published in a practical, technology-aware way to include sending, Mr. Speaker. transferring, Mr. Speaker, posting, Mr. Speaker, disseminating, Mr. Speaker, or otherwise, Mr. Speaker, provide access. It makes it plain that a person under 18 is incapable of giving consent for these purposes. Clause 3 amends Section 4 of the Principal Act. It strengthens protection for minors by amending, Mr. Speaker, the penalty framework of Section 4 of the Act, so that where an offense is committed, Mr. Speaker, through access to any computer program or data against any individual, Mr. Speaker, under the age of 18 years, the court, Mr. Speaker, may impose imprisonment for a term not exceeding 20 years. Clause 4, Mr. Speaker, it amends Section 8 of the Principal Act. It makes, Mr. Speaker, a corresponding amendment to Section 8. Likewise, providing that where the offense, that is fraud or forgery, is committed against an individual under the age of 18 years, the penalty, Mr. Speaker, may include imprisonment for a term not exceeding 20 years.
We are living in that age now, and the issues that it presents for our society are real. The law needs to more fulsomely protect persons' images, the image of an individual, their reputation, and the use of their appearance and their voice and other biological manifestations through manipulation to denigrate them, to spread falsehoods, either about them or others, or things that they have alleged to say which are complete fabrications. These are very serious problems. And I think for the bill to come here and not address that is a disappointment. We cannot say that we are protecting our society and keeping on the cusp of technology when we are not. We support these amendments, but they're dated. They are not dealing with the most pressing problem that has arisen in the last 2-3 years.
We are at January 2026. Now, when the amendment to the 2015 Act was done, we had built in a review after a 3-year period. The point I'm making that in 2026, we are now due another review. And the reality is that the work that would have been done almost 3 years ago would not have taken account of probably the most important development in technology over the last century, which is the advent of artificial intelligence. I make this point to say that the lack of timeliness of moving from a joint select committee to a report to amendments affects this particular legislation more than others, because the nature of technology evolves so quickly. And so we have to ensure that, particularly for legislation of this nature, that we conduct the reviews and do the amendments in a timely fashion. When you look at the number of reports in comparison to the anecdotal and the others that you know exist, the institutions are not reporting what is taking place. That has implications for policy. It has implications for a number of other things. And so a recommendation was made that we should move away from voluntary to an obligatory mandatory reporting to the regulator. And in this case, if it's a financial institution, it would either be the Bank of Jamaica or the Financial Services Commission. No financial institution wants the publicity of acknowledging that there are breaches. But I'm sure if you speak to members here and in the general public, there are so many of us who have been victims of cyber criminal activity, particularly around banking transactions.
And according to the Major Organized Crime and Anti-Corruption Agency, these suspects allegedly assumed the identities of multiple individuals with varying occupations using fraudulently obtained genuine documents. You hear what I said? Fraudulently obtained genuine documents. How do you get fraudulent or fraud with genuine? And these fraudulent identification bypass security protocols and identity confirmation measures at these financial institutions. The sophistication involved in manipulating identities to defeat institutional safeguards is quite alarming. In fact, the scale is unprecedented. It is just that in this particular instance that law enforcement was able to catch up on these persons. But here's the critical point, ladies and gentlemen. Behind every one of these incidents is a failure of data protection. Does a modern privacy program looks like? It must be proactive, it must be risk-based and embedded across organizational culture from the start. But practically, it must also anticipate AI-enabled threats. Privacy assessment must now consider, can this data train deepfake models? Could voice recordings be cloned? If this database were breached, what AI-powered fraud could criminals execute? We must also implement robust authentication. Ladies and gentlemen, in an age of deepfakes and synthetic identities, we must move beyond simple passwords. Biometric data must be properly encrypted because once compromised, you cannot change your face or your fingerprint.
Just to put in context that JFJ, we had previously made submissions to the then convened Joint Select Committee looking at the Domestic Violence Act, where we had encouraged the committee at the time to consider a standalone provision in the Sexual Offences Act to deal with the matter of non-consensual sharing of intimate images or videos that one may have engaged in with their partners. Now, while we are not seeing it within the context of the Sexual Offences Act, the fact that it has been tabled within the context of the Cybercrime Act is something that we welcome, and we do urge the House of Parliament to accept and pass the amendments that were put forward, given the urgency of dealing with this particular issue. We take note that the parliamentary opposition has raised some concerns, in particular one raised by the leader of the opposition, Mark Golding, around the broad framing of historical events and how it can possibly undermine the protection that one would seek to give victims, that those should be considered. However, the passing of the bill should not be delayed at all, and we do urge that that bill is passed as a matter of urgency. Nevertheless, we echo the concerns raised by the parliamentary opposition that a comprehensive review of the Cybercrime Act is certainly in order.
Thanks for watching. This was a MyView TV production. Remember to share, like, comment, subscribe, click the notification bell, tell a friend for tell a friend, and remember, it never bring nobody forward for cheer for him. Walk good.